looking at what's going on and talking to people out. I've been out in the Mannington area and talked to a lot of people. And we mentioned the negative ads. He said he did whatever. The Mooney-McKinley race, I'm sure you all were getting those flyers in the mail. And by this time, I'm not sure you're reading any of them. They're going straight in the garbage. I'm really surprised at that. I have had flyers came out for me that I did not send out. They came out of a pack. And that pack has endorsed me. I sent in a campaign questionnaire and had one interview with them. And they have promoted me, and I appreciate it. And they've actually said some of the things about my opponent that they didn't like. And one of those was that he had voted against a House bill that would have taken to the floor of the House a bill to repeal the certificate of need for Medicaid. There's 11 different medical items that fall under that. Clinics, hospitals, I can't even tell you what they all are.
Nursing homes, any healthcare facility.
Yeah. Right now, if you want to open, let's say we want to take this restaurant out and put a nursing home in, we'd have to get a certificate of need. Now, who do you think gets to vote on your certificate of need? The other hospitals and nursing homes and operators. So sounds like a little protectionism to me from the old days of West Virginia. If everybody remembers in Chester, I'm sure you do, back in the record days, you had record rights.
Yeah.
And wow, I wish they had tire rights where we could be the only tire shop in town, but that wasn't the way capitalism works.
Mike, one quick thing to add to that. Think about the fact that you're going to go to the chamber and say, I want to open up a business, but I want you all to assure me that I'll never have competition. That's what certificate of need does. And currently, you're looking at like 4 major hospitals in West Virginia, and we're just hearing that Mon General and CAMC and Charleston are going to merge. When it gets to a point where they're going to say, we're the only game in town, here's what you have to pay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right, no, I appreciate it. Right here in north central West Virginia, we're pretty blessed to have a lot of options with healthcare. I mean, we had Fairmont General for years, and then it closed, and myself included thought, hate to lose our hospital.
Right.
Now we have 2 hospitals. We have the old Fairmont General, which WVU has announced a while back they're putting $90 million in. Mon General has opened a new hospital in the Middletown Commons. If you go up on top of the connector, WVU has a urgent care there. Over on Locust Avenue, the old Larry Myers is a doctor's facility for WVU. It's kind of amazing, really. So we are in good shape here, in my opinion. We're in good enough shape, I had to laugh, that the one on Fairmont Avenue, Med Express, I think it got too crowded for them. Yes, sir.
Do you think we're getting too much WVU medicine, or will be a monopoly on that?
Well, you guys got your Snickers bar, because it's going to take a while.
No.
I know what you're saying.
Yes or no?
No, WVU obviously is very strong. I have even heard rumored that WVU may look at buying or partnering with University of Pittsburgh's medical. And I first said, what? And a number of people in the medical industry have said, oh yeah, I can see that. Yes, sir.
Back in September, I had COVID, and it was really, really, really bad. And I went up there, and I was up there for 3 days. I don't remember a whole lot, but I don't remember too much personal care. Like I said, I was really good. They billed me $27,000. I want you to think about that, man. I mean, it's good for you to talk about WVU this and that. I want you to think about that. 3 days, and they did give a detailed prescription of what they did. And it really wasn't a whole lot. It was 27. And if you don't believe me, I'll bring you the
Oh no! Wait a minute. Let me. Maybe we missed something here. Lost in translation. He's talking about certificate of need. Is another hospital wants to come in here to set up competition to raise quality and lower rates. but you put an application in, and the people that view that are Mon General and WVU, and they say to the healthcare authority, we don't need any more hospitals.
Yeah,
At that point,
it's talking about the monopoly effect of that.
sure,
Same thing, yeah.
I think you guys are on the same page because you're asking him to answer a question that you've already given the answer to. That's what we're trying to avoid. We should open it up to where other people are going to come in because as they merge, as these big hospitals merge, it's going to get worse.
I'm not denying that the need isn't there for healthcare because we're an old population. But it's the idea if you get a majority in there, they can rule prices.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how many people can afford a 3-day, $27,000 visit. And then not all that is paid by your insurance company.
Right. You know, and that's where the certificate of need, and Phil can tell you this. Y'all remember the movie Patch Adams? Robin Williams played in it.
Yeah.
There is a real Patch Adams in West Virginia. And he came in and spoke to the legislature. From what I understand, he wants to open a free clinic in Greenbrier County? Randolph County. Down in the middle.
Randolph and Tucker. He's got 319 acres. He wants to do it all. Guess what? He is like 34 miles either way from any healthcare facility, and they're pushing back on him because he is world renowned. He'll get it.
The certificate of need is stopping him from opening a free, from what I understand, predominantly free healthcare facility. He's old enough, he wants to put his money back into West Virginia. But if he opens up a free healthcare facility and it works, what keeps an Ohio State from saying, hey, we want to partner with him. We want to go to West Virginia. Well, all of a sudden, WVU's got somebody knocking on our door. Mon General has somebody knocking on our door. So this certificate of need, which got killed in committee, never made it to the floor, was going to remove the legislation, the restrictive body of anybody opening health care. Over the years, I mentioned the record rights. There was kept the quality up. It made non-competition. Chester would know more about that than me. It was terrible. Now it's just like our whole country. It's capitalistic. If you're the better operator, then you're going to survive. Is WVU a good operator? What you're telling me about your bill, I'd say no. Somebody should be able to do it cheaper now. So the super PAC that is kind of endorsing me was giving my opponent, called him out on it because he voted against it in committee. Lost by 2 votes. So I think next year they're going to try to bring that up again. So that's where I had nothing to do with that, but I understand why the super PAC in the state is wanting to get that done. I think it would help a lot of people. Other than that, I have had a lot of negative ads come out about me. I'm sure y'all have gotten them. I will live on my laurels, what I have done for 40 years, socially, as far as supporting in-county things. I don't care if it's sports or fire departments. I will stand on my laurels with that. So let me jump in again, guys. Once in a while, you'll see something that says, I am the only candidate running for this office that's been endorsed by the NRA. Well, guess what? If you've never been in office, the NRA has nothing to evaluate you by. Right. So typically, you'll get an AQ or you'll get an A. You get an A if you're an incumbent and you voted for your Second Amendment gun rights. But if you've never been in office, you'll probably get an AQ, which means you're a good person, but they can't qualify you because they have nothing to base it on. That's something that you'll see a lot on these flyers, but they don't tell the rest of the story. Political action committees, trust me, they know who voted thusly. You voted against increased health care. You voted against Second Amendment rights. And then they come out and try to help the person that's running against that person that voted against what they feel strongly about. But legally, we are not allowed to know what the Political Action Committee is doing. That's the law. So if something comes up in the mail, you look at that and say, boy, Phil did a nice job of getting this. We have nothing to do with that. If you look down in the lower right-hand corner, it's a Political Action Committee that is siding with me against the person that I'm running against. So my Americans for Prosperity is the Political Action Committee that's been stumping for me. Again, I didn't employ them. They're a very conservative group. My opponent is being has a political action committee working with him. It's the West Virginia Family Value. Go home and Google, see what their agenda is. Their agenda is to replace Republicans with Democrats. So a little different side of the story. But anyhow, that's kind of who I am, what I am. If anybody has any questions for me, I'd be glad to take them.